Sikarskie,
And I'm Kat Fowler.
and welcome to another conversation with the Council of Light. We are so happy you're here, and if you enjoy our conversations, please subscribe and leave a thumbs up.
Yes, and we're not really giving this an episode like number or whatever. It's more like a casual conversation and a check-in for I think our first one in 2021. So it'll be nice, I think, for everybody listening. We'll do a little update on what's really happening with the energy and mainly focus around that. And if you enjoyed the episode, leave a comment. Let us know if you have any questions for any future episodes. You can just leave them in the comments below. So looking forward to the interview.
Me too. Okay, so I'm just going to connect in and let the Council of Light come through. All right. Yes, we are here. It is a very joyful opportunity for us to be here with you today. Greetings, friends. My, oh my, has it been a moment of your time that we have been here for this group here and to have a conversation? We are delighted. Yes, we are indeed. We have been around with many of you through the ethers, through time, through dimensional portals of your reality and our reality. But here we are coming through again for a beautiful and entertaining conversation, we will say. So we are very happy to be here. And I thank you, dear Kat. What topics or conversation would you like to begin with today?
Awesome. Yes. So I was thinking more around speaking around what's really happening lately. And so I was figuring maybe if you'd like to start off with kind of what you're feeling the energy is like for 2021, because it's right now March. And so just we've been through kind of a lot, it's ups and downs. And so if you could share what you're kind of feeling for the rest of 2021 for people to anticipate.
Oh, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. It's ups and downs, in and outs, and swirling around, many coming back to the beginning. A cyclic nature, as it is for many to understand different realities and where they have been and where they are going, you see. So there is a much activity here upon your planet. Yes, indeed. There are many realms of consciousness, and you understand this by the frequency which you live within, that you breathe within, which you emit and you are emanating in your daily day-to-day moments of time. Some moments of time you may feel a one way, and another moment of time you may feel a bit lighter, a bit brighter, and a bit more at peace. So there is some flushing out of toxicities. There are readjusting and realignments of the codes within the physical body, and also the light channels which you all incorporate within your system, a flow, a frequency, an expansion of light. And it is very important because you are seeing, you are understanding, and you are experiencing what it means to regulate, to hold and harness a frequency of truth, of abundance, love, and courage, because we are saying for many, this is an expression of courage for you to even be here. You understand? Many are here as volunteers. Many have decided, okay, we will come back through as a human in this reality. And it takes a bunch of courage for you to be here. And that the courage is stemmed from the frequency of love. For you would not be here if you do not have it in your heart to bring about abundance of love and light to this planet here. And we are sharing as we have in the past. Many are here for the first time. Many have been here before. Whether or not if it was in a human body, there is a lot of activity in the other frequency bands and the higher dimensional planes of existence for support for the human in the consciousness here on your planet. So day to day, moment to moment, you will be feeling and understanding through your sensations, your clair-gifts, your understandings of frequency, feeling, not so much always a cognitively knowing, but it can begin with a feeling, the frequency of the day, the frequency of the moment, and what is it that you personally may be flowing through. And then many of you are also tapping into the collective consciousness. And this is a very important aspect of human reality, the collective consciousness. It is a very in-depth and deep understanding that there are many communities here. Yes, and as you vibrate and emanate, and your frequency is resonating in a particular pattern or speed, you are attracting to you, or you are floating towards other community members that have a like heart and a like mind. And you will say, Wow, oh my, there are many synchronicities in my life and in my reality. And we say, yes, indeed, these synchronicities are flowing for you because you are now in alignment with your vibrational current, that soul pattern, the path that you have established for yourself. And so you are supported. It is a little wink and a nod from those in the high heavenly realms, your guardian angels, your spirit guides, your teams in spirit, to give you a little tapping upon the shoulder and show you some synchronization, you see. So here you're going we are going to express to you a bit more about your question for the moment and the year of 2021. And here you are starting and beginning, and time is elusive. It expands and contracts. It feels as if it is a fast and then a slowing down, you see. And this gives the human the moment and the opportunity to integrate spiritual awareness and conscious knowledge, and to bring about the frequencies into the physical vessel, because your bodies are activating. They are, and they will be upgrading even more and even more. And here you are, beautiful stewards of this reality, because you are laying a foundation for the future generations to come through. And this can be expressed in emotional aspects. If you are feeling emotional from day to day, time to time, bursts of joy, bursts of energy and light, or a quiet contemplative expression of slumbering and sleeping to let the body catch up and integrate, we will say. So for the rest of the year, there will be a bit more of this. There will be a bit more. Everyone will have an experience within their own reality that as it enters their consciousness and as it crosses through into that timeline, this experience will be there with a purpose. And the purpose is to clear, to cleanse, and to brighten with an understanding some disruptions. And this can be some discombobulation. It can be discrepancies in thought. And it could also be, you will call it in your reality, subconscious programming from the collective, and also clearing that which was in the DNA of the physical body from the physical human ancestors' experiences. So we are saying here that yes, you have much collectively and individually expressions of time through other parallel past lives, as you would like to say, times on and off of the planet. But there is an experience here where you are assisting the human form from the past to the present and in the future to activate their light codes. And what this means is that there will be more connection with the heart and the mind, more coherence, you see. And this will activate and share about new sensitivities to the light body, which will be experienced as your increased clair-gifts. And so we are saying to trust your heart and your soul, to trust your gut instincts, and your physical body will be speaking to you as well. So through the rest of the year, there will be ups and downs and twists and turns, and we would recommend for your enjoyment and delight and for stability to begin each day in a moment of peaceful contemplation through breath work and meditation, feeling your energy, getting a balanced and a focused before you step out into the bombarding energies of the collective, before you turn on your electronic devices, you see, to come in a space where you are taking self-care with determination, that you will not be dissuaded and distracted, that your energy will not be influenced and toxically affected by any of the bumping energies that you may come into connection with in your daily experience. With this awareness of what belongs to you and what does not, you will find a beautiful focusing where you yourself may work through what you need to work through for your ancestors and for your physical body and your spiritual advancement, connecting in with the light of who you are, because there is so much happening here. Yes, indeed. You could probably count on 5 hands, 5 areas of the collective that are having a lot of attention and awareness and expression, and many may or may not be personal to your path and journey. So it is very important to allow yourself reverence and respect to focus on what you are going through. And we are saying it will be a bit more, many may feel a little bumpy, but we are saying expansion. there will be more time and more dedicated focus available to those on earth individually to look within, to begin to discern. And we are expressing and we are highlighting for you the importance of finding the spark of light and your own truth within your cellular system and within your energetic body. Does this assist you with some advice and information on the topic?
Yes, I love what you were mentioning, and we talk a lot about this in the Light Collective. You've brought this up. Members have asked these questions. So I do feel, since this is our first like more public video, I wanted to ask this question, which we've talked about already, but could be useful for viewers when talking about these collective shifts and timeline shifts. Um, Essentially, I think a lot of people are seeing a massive separation according to people's choice points around, particular things involving health and, who they're going to listen to and whatnot, and what they're going to decide to do. And some people also may feel that they know in their heart what's best, but they're feeling maybe forced or pressured by their employers or their job or their communities to make certain choices that don't feel necessarily good for them in their heart. So I was wondering if you can really speak to this, and if you can also just speak to those that may be having trouble where they're on their path, but they're seeing their family members or their friends start to shift into a new direction, with a lot of these choices that they're making into different timelines, essentially like the timeline separating. So if you could just speak to them, and if you have any advice on that, around everything that was just mentioned.
Ah, yes, indeed. It is a broad topic, but we can get very detailed. It is very important. Every aspect is very important to consider. So, we will begin by saying there is not one timeline that is better than the other in the sense that it is holier and it is more accepted or looked upon as being an A plus versus a C or a D student. It is not like this. Everyone will be where they need to be, and they will be revisiting topics and patterns until they have absorbed and integrated and learned the wisdom from these experiences. And even after having an experience, you will be tested, if you want to call it, but you will be presented with an opportunity to incorporate and express your wisdom in another opportunity where now you get to have an expression or a conversation with knowledge from your previous experiences and the knowledge that you've had as you are all working as a collective and sharing with one another, and sharing and experiencing and viewing and listening to other aspects. This earth life reality is full of multiple set points, as you are calling, and these set points lead into new realities, yes. And there is a lot to consider when you have an advanced human race and a species here that has a lot of self-awareness with their cognitive thinking, and also a lot of awareness with their spiritual heart expression. We will say the energy that fuels the physical body and the life force here, that also is incorporating those connections to a divine, higher frequency, angelic consciousness or divinity of thyself, whomever and whatever energetic frequency you are expressing and reaching towards. So, here are many aspects to consider of reality, and some situations would not be the one that would be the most favorable from a human perspective. But if you are here and you are experiencing life as a human, you're here for a purpose and a reason. And if you are experiencing something that you are not really much enjoying, we are saying we want to express and share with you that time is very different for you in these new frequencies. Your intentions are very potent, and many have experienced this. And through that, they call it the law of attraction, and seeing reality shift before their very eyes quickly, more quickly, it is happening. So, if you are to feel a determination understanding who you are, and to say within yourself and to the universe around you, this is my reality, and this is what I am expressing, and this is what I am looking for, then you will start to see that opportunities come your way to support it. We would like all who are interested to begin to try this and to say, you perhaps may not know how it will be happening. So be open to the joy and the delight and the wonderment of seeing how it may all come through and manifest for you. But you have many parallel experiences, because as you are expressing, you could have two family members, two friends, two colleagues, two neighbors who see what is happening in the collective or in their personal community very close to home within the family dynamics, and have a different opinion, have a different emotion about it. And as we have mentioned in the past, it is all about respect, care, and concern, that you feel as if you can speak your truth, but not to discount the truth of another. Every aspect could come from a space of love and respect, to understand and to expand the collective awareness of the whole human consciousness. And this begins within. So we are saying many humans feel they are right, it is one way or the other. Well, I am seeing it from my way, and I don't want to hear so much about your way. We are saying, very interesting indeed. Because life is not limited to one way or the other. There are many options and opportunities. So we are leading back to following the heart and to be curious, to want to hear the community, to really want to understand why one would make a choice, why they have a specific and particular desire, and to understand the different aspects. Because you see here there are spiritual truths coming through, and there is also an overlay in the matrix, or a programmed human consciousness, which would be an opinion or a falsehood, you could say. Many times there are these distractions placed in the awareness that are not 100% truthful. And I know we were saying here that there are many aspects of truth and reality. However, these were, you could say, made up with an agenda in mind. And one of the agenda, the proponents would be for distraction, to delay the evolvement, to delay and stunt the conscious expression, the awareness, and the advancement of the human. So again, we say, practicing every moment of the mornings to begin each day connected within, and listen to your intuition, listen to your heart and your mind indeed, because you are not just one or the other. It is a connected, evolved human experience that will be the most beneficial, and come from a place of compassion for those that might be feeling very, very upset, to come from a place of compassion, to understand that any energy that will be lashed out or projected to you would not so much be about you, but about that they are suffering in a space where they are not at peace within themselves, but also do keep your boundaries. So here there are many opportunities for growth and advancement, and there are many ways in which that may come through, whether it be in your economic platform, whether it be in your foods and the environment, and even the dynamics in friendships and the relationships that will be we're going to say reconstructed, to share, rewired, repatterned. And when that happens, and much has already occurred over the past 12 to 15 months of your time, where relationships were released and let go. And so new developments are occurring in the dynamics of the interconnectiveness and the conversations of the human form. So it is if almost, we will say, it is if you are at the beginning of new opportunities within the collective evolution of humanity's connection to one another. And it begins with relationships one-on-one, and then it will expand to communities and beyond, you see. So it is a lot of work that will actually be coming for many in this year, but there is a strong and grand reward that will be felt throughout time. And it is a very pivotal or many may say crucial moment here, that you are resetting realities, a reset point, and it begins by connecting in with the heart space. Indeed, yes, indeed, it begins by connecting within and without to the frequency of love and the consciousness that the light workers are harnessing and hosting and bringing into life in this reality here on the human, in the human body, in the human form, on the planet of the earth.
Yes. So several things. I 100% love what you were saying. It's not like A, B, C, there's no good or bad. But I do want to elaborate on the question. And we've talked about this in the past on YouTube even, but in the context of these separating timelines, like the other day I saw something with Dolores Cannon on Instagram, and I was like, oh yeah, wow, like I used to study a lot of her material and books, and she really does talk a lot about these separatings of Earth, of the 3D Earth and the 5D Earth, and the struggle on the 3D, and she almost relays it as if it's in a sense, a physical shift that may occur. And not that one is good or bad, like the people that remain in 3D will eventually ascend. But so can you kind of clarify on what your opinion is on this, and if you think that something like this is going to occur within like the next 50 years?
A physical new planet to be
Mm,
separated?
more like the timeline shifts and 5D and 3D, like parallel versions of each other, but different realities.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Well, let us get a little bit more here. The further up you go in dimensions, you look down and you can see these platforms, and there is creation and other parallel Earth life realities can be uh, observed. But you see, from the human experience, it will not be so much where they understand or see a whole other physicalized separate earth. It will be more a dimensional reality, and in transition is where the human is now. So those who would like to ascend in their lifetime to lift up a bit more will do so. But over time, all will beginning to go, because it is the choice of Gaia. Gaia has already ascended, and much activity is focalized in the eighth dimension and above. So the humans are just catching up. If the humans would say that they would like another school or playground, as we call it, to come back into here in this most recent current reality, well, you could say you understand like the 3D consciousness, for maybe perhaps the 50 consciousness even, uh, then over time they will be flowing into a new platform, indeed, into a new platform. But we do not see disruption where in the physical life here as the human, that there would be such separation physically, but it is already beginning energetically. And you understand this because many past relationships have faded away and new are coming into the realities, and you are finding camaraderie and friendship with those whom you vibrate with, because you are all together in this new space and it is becoming more solidified, intense. You are feeling this connection. So it is already happening in an aspect of a transition. But every life has blessings, and every life has wisdom and experiences to be received, whatever frequency one is within. However, as we are mentioning, upon reincarnating back in to come back into Earth over time, and you could say, you mentioned 50 years. Let us see. It might be more than that, maybe 200 years before it is a finalized, but there will be a little trickling through the transition. And eventually, those coming back in will come in to have a life experience on Gaia in a higher frequency realm from the very beginning of their incarnation. And the other dimensional aspects will slowly fade away. So we are sharing, it should not be feared, it should not be scary, because it is a natural evolutionary experience where souls are eternal and they are picking their expression that they want to express. So what form do they want to come through in, and what experiences do they want to have indeed, either for their self-development and evolution as a spiritual soul being, or many are coming through then to assist and to do some light working. But that will be a grand benefit, because many who have done so much work will then say, well, I want to go back now and just enjoy just enjoy the fruit of my my workings that I did, and to have the pleasure of consciously being aware, but living in a space of peace, like a heaven on earth, many will say. But earth always has choice points, it always has experiences for selecting new opportunities. And in the higher frequencies, that will be as if the new opportunities will feel more in alignment, that either A, B, C, or D could be very fruitful and beneficial in a joyful, relaxing sort of way. And that is where many are looking forward to, and what they are looking forward to creating such an opportunity in your future. Does this make a sense for the question?
For sure. And this keeps coming up to be brought up. And I know we've talked about this in the past on YouTube. And in the Light Collective, this has came up frequently with the Akashic reports. But if you could speak about boundaries and the importance of boundaries around, because you were talking about respect for the different choice points. But I think a major issue within we'll say like the light worker community is wanting to go in and save everybody or save their family or run in and send healing energy without permission, things like this. To because I don't think they're not seeing the higher dimensional perspective of what's really happening or respecting autonomy of another. So could you kind of elaborate on that or speak to what your opinion is on boundaries in this particular energy that we're in now?
Yes, indeed. Boundaries are very important in whatever community dynamics you are experiencing, whether it be more a part of society's economic system or spiritual system or family units, friendship. Boundaries are important, and respect is an aspect, because, as you mentioned, it is true, every being has their autonomy to make a choice. There are some that are feeling very enslaved and oppressed. They are feeling a tightness and a heaviness of energy constricting them. And we will say, well, where is that coming from? It is coming from outside of their conscious desire. And even those who may say, I see the best for you, and you will make this a choice, because we understand that it should be this way for the most profitable outcome. But then the individual soul does not have the option to learn, to grow, to develop, or to feel freedom within, in the sense of abundant frequencies, to make their own choice and decision. And they are feeling trapped. So it is not for the betterment of another or humanity. It is more as if you shall say, okay, well, there are some, if you want to call it rules, but there are some guidelines, some boundaries that as society we are working through, and we are expressing and sharing that within that you have a lot of choices and opportunities, and whatever choice and opportunity, we trust in the divine plan and understand that it will flow beautifully, because each spirit incarnated into that experience to learn, to grow, and to develop. So there is so much to be said. It is a lot of interworkings, because one could say, well, then if they came into the experience knowing that there would be forms of control, then it should continue on this way. But we are sharing. We say it is not always one set point reality. There is room for expansion. There is room to deviate, to express and pick and choose other opportunities. Earth is a free flowing, conscious planet that allows for choice points, that allows for autonomy, that allows for decisions to be made and to be had. So if you are really feeling that you would like to respect in others and you would like the same respect for yourself, you may share your own experiences. You may share, perhaps if it is requested, you may share your opinion or your advice, but to forcefully poke and pry and push yourself into another's path and pattern of their energy, because tis what it is, their path is a direct reflection of their vibrational frequency. And if one were to push and pry into that life frequency, it would take away the autonomy and lessons, perhaps specific lessons that would be fall into the future for the individual. And also here, another deep aspect of it is that in the future, at some point, if you become entangled with the energetic karmic frequencies of another's life experience, you now have a responsibility in a way, irreparable responsibility, where in the future, at some point in time, if it will be this life or the next, you will have to unweave and unwind from the we are seeing it like many, oh, here we are, spaghetti noodles, many crisscrossing of energetic frequencies, tying and getting lumped into a knot. And you would have to then take so much of your energetic awareness to unwind from that, which is a distraction from your path and journey. So we are saying support, respect, cleanliness, allowing others to make a choices. Yes, indeed. And to say to your own experience that thank you very much to a friend for their advice, or I'm going to you for insights, but essentially the human will make their own choice and desire flowing forward. So it is something perhaps that you see in many ecosystems and in many conversations, in whether it be family, spiritual, biology, technology, whatever it might be. But we understand here that our partner, she is very much interested so much in the spiritual aspect of things. So as far as timelines and human advancement at a soul level experience for their life purpose and mission, boundaries are very important indeed. They're very important. So we express that and we share, and we hope we have shared some of the experiences that could be affected, and the different sides of these interactions and what it means for both parties involved.
Yeah, I think that was really helpful because as you were talking, I can hear whoever it is that's listening in the future saying, but that's not compassionate. Like that's not, but then what about having compassion? That's how do you just leave someone when they're struggling? So maybe I was hearing that. So maybe you can, yeah, speak to
There
that.
we are. Yes, we do not need to leave them, but you need to just make sure they are reaching with their intentions for assistance. There is a difference for being there for someone who is requesting assistance versus you coming up with all of the answers and force feeding it upon them and pushing it in their energy and saying, here, I'm saving the day. I'm now your savior, you see. So there is a difference for support, for guidance, for friendship, and really for being there energetically, holding a space. And that is what it is, holding a space. And when you are requested for assistance, then it is the appropriate time, you see. But it is all about discernment, it is all about balance, because additionally it is not so appropriate in, generally speaking, general terms, because we are saying there could be some sort of karmic contract here. But generally speaking, it would not be so appropriate either for one being to take on the weight of another and to come up with all of the solutions for assisting and fixing and making determinations for them. So it's a very gentle process of love and compassion, because to not overstep is compassionate. Otherwise, um, would be taking away the learning opportunities. Indeed. So it is a very delicate balance, and spiritual discernment with your thoughts, your mind, and your heart are very important indeed.
Yes, for sure. Can you speak a little bit to karma and the shifts that are occurring? Because I have found within my own sessions, within my own learning, that karma has really shifted quite a bit in the last few years. And in particular, really, I'd say since like what was it, the equinox, the solstice of last year. And there's an ability to really clear karma like that, like really fast from your Akash and things like that, as opposed to like this old belief system that we must carry this on, we must live some things out. And, I think that's a little bit of a false teaching at this time. And it was relevant, but it maybe is not so relevant anymore. So, can you speak to the new shifts in the karma and how it's applying to everyone on the planet right now?
Yes, indeed, absolutely. In the past, the energy was a bit thicker, denser, slower. You are speeding up, it is lightening, it is brightening, and there are new choice points. You are experiencing much awareness. What would the purpose be to struggle with one aspect for the entire life here when the energy is supportive for the human to flow through very quickly, to release patterns, to heal energetic expressions, and to find a balance in the karmic energies of their own inner world and relationships with those who might be back in another lifetime with. But even we are sharing that if something were to happen in the current lifetime, it can be resolved more efficiently, effectively, and fluidly than in the past. So to subscribe to the notion that you must be held into the past, into the reality of karma, may take many millennia or many lifetimes to we'll say balance, yes, then that is not the case anymore. And that is one of the beautiful aspects of advancing here on the earth. And as we were expressing previously regarding instant manifestations and synchronization, it is the same in that energy is speeding up. So you are attracting new experiences and you are also working through much more quickly with spiritual advancement and awareness. There is much awareness around it, and there is also a very peaceful and fluid approach in adjusting and working with the energy body. And any intermingling or meshed frequencies of others and experiences can be found now to separate a little bit easier than they had in the past. And intentions and a belief that it can be are very important. As you are advancing to a higher space of reality, it is more advanced in thoughts, in meaning, let's say that you have a thought and you are intending for that thought, and then it comes to fruition much more quickly. And you can process emotions much more efficiently. So the karma on earth, it has been for many generations, thousands of years, is shifting now. And as you mentioned, you did start to see this recently, but we have been sharing with our partners since perhaps 2018. Karma is clearing, and it is going more quickly now. It is increasing in the efficacy and the ability to do so. And as you are clearing and healing and expanding, you are advancing, and then new opportunities will come for you to work with. So it is a continuous flow, a cyclic nature where a new reality is birthed, and then you will find yourself touching base again back to the first set point to check in. And then from there, you are flowed to the next reality. You could call these realities chapters of life, you see. And it is always about, in a cycle, in the nature of a cycle, swirling, you are receiving new levels of information and healing and remembering. More memories are coming through.
Yes, for sure. Okay, so switching gears a little bit, but similar to what we were talking about in the very beginning of the interview, we were talking about these like false programs that are running around. And so people, even though, they want to make certain choices, it's almost like they can't see past, a foot in front of them because they feel like there's a lot or they don't know, but there's a lot of we'll call it false programming signals, false signals, grids running around, unseen energetically, that are putting out and pushing out harsh messages that maybe people aren't aware of. That's why they're thinking certain things and whatnot. So, can you actually speak a little bit to this and how people can recognize when this is occurring so they can start to separate these frequencies that aren't theirs? Because they don't, because there is a possibility that it is theirs. Maybe they need to do some inner child healing. Maybe they need to still work on their shadow aspect. But then there is a large possibility that it's also not. So how can people differentiate, I think, between and discern what information is coming to them in the form of thoughts and what is real and what is not, essentially? Well, actually,
Um,
we'll say what is organic and what is not.
There you are, indeed, organic or created. Yes.
Yes.
So, yes. Where do we begin? Let's see. So, here we are. Where do we begin? With this experience, first and foremost, detoxification would be very beneficial. If you are feeling bombarded and confused which way to go, thoughts are not lining up with emotions, the energy of the body is tightening, the human body is feeling dis-ease, distress in ways of perhaps digestive issues or tension in the body. If you are looping through these thoughts repetitively, then we are saying to detox, to let go of any opinions of any other and begin to do some meditation and light body clearing work, and really set the thoughts in a little basket to the side and call your guides and angels to be in around you and support you. Go into a meditation, connecting up with your higher self, and begin to make an acquaintance again and to feel the light flowing in, down, or through you. And then to feel and hear the messages which are most pertinent to you and your reality in your life. And as you begin to develop a relationship with your higher self and your soul frequency, you will begin to understand what is organic, what is true, what is pure light. And in that experience, it will feel very second nature to you, like you are at a home here and you are stable, peaceful. Even though there are perhaps decisions to be made and chaos in the world around you, you find that you can flow through these decisions and make choices efficiently. Well, let's say here that you are then presented with information. Notice how your body responds. Does it feel like truth to you? Is it pertinent to your path forward? Is it something that is beneficial for your journeying as a human and your evolution as a soul? Is it beneficial for you or is it not? And dismiss and let go of the things that are not important for you, and realign your intentional awareness to the things that are important for you. And as you were asking, how would one know if it is something that is perhaps a part of their soul journey? Is it an inner child healing or a past life? I was saying, well, it will organically come up and present itself. You will receive many signs, many emotions, many memories and symbols in your own life outside of the public platform. So, outside of mainstream media or social media, yes, outside of conversations with friends that are really hyped up, very energized, and sharing something. So it will come naturally to you in the most unexpected ways, in a very organic flow throughout life, and your teams will be guiding you, and synchronicities will fall and come your way. But there is something to be said about synchronicities and oversaturation. Oversaturation is something that would occur when an agenda is being pushed, you see. So if you feel you are having some oversaturation around any topic whatsoever, we're saying to take a little break, take a time out, step away for 2 to 3 weeks and see if it fades away or if it is still there. And if it is still there, then work with your team in spirit and your own inner calling, your own soul vibration, to see if there is a message there for you, or if there is any work that you may do by holding space for the collective or educating yourself on your personal experience, for if one were to come to you for an understanding and advice, then you would have something to share with them. But yes, oversaturation would not be so much organic. Synchronicities come about, little sprinkles here and there, perhaps three or four at a time. But it is something that you most likely will find in multiple delivery systems that we are. Perhaps it would be in print, it would be digital, it would be a conversation, a memory, a photograph, these sorts of things. And it will not come through in the same bombarding delivery system over and over again. So we hope that this helps. It is about spiritual discernment, clarity, and advancement. And to get there, detoxification and finding a connection with your guides and team and accessing the frequency of love and support and light that you will feel within your heart. And when there is something for you to organically work through, you will feel empowered. You will not feel that you are a victim or in fear. You will feel empowered to come to an alignment. You will feel empowered to find, what is this about, per se? If you have a response that you've been feeling for many weeks, months, or years, what is this about? You will now feel empowered that you can dig deep with it and adjust, release, and heal any extreme frequencies which are no longer a part of your future moving forward. So, yes, indeed, that is a very important topic. Thank you so much for bringing it up for us today.
You're welcome. I'd like to also stress, like, I think in the topic of discernment, a lot of people consider what you just spoke about to be potentially just the mainstream. So, oh, because it's, news, whatever,
Ah,
media. But there's also, yeah, okay, here, I'll just say it, but you can elaborate on it. So much of this is on social media. So much of this is done through influencers in a backhanded way. So much of this, so people think it's a friendly message coming through an individual, but really it is part of this oversaturation or an account that they maybe did trust. Maybe there was trust there and then things have switched. This happens all the time. So if you can elaborate on that so people can understand when we're talking about these oversaturated agenda pushes, it's not just mainstream media or even like, underground alternative media. This is like in every facet of our reality in some capacity.
yes, indeed, very much. So, thank you so much for pointing that out. Here we are observing and understanding, but we did not vocalize. So, yes, and we are in agreement indeed. And so, if you are to find something oversaturated, one would say, what is this about? Where is their source coming from? What is a hidden agenda? How do you feel afterwards, after hearing or feeling the vibration coming from the information or the spokesperson? What is this about, and what is it doing for your energy body? Is it bringing you up, or is it pulling you down? Is it helping you to feel empowered and sovereign, or are you feeling a victim or enslaved or trapped in a spinning circle as the energy is wrapping around one? And so, yes, indeed, there are many activities happening in the physical and also in the astral realms, in the energetic realms. And no matter what a platform it may be or a conversation, there may always be 99.2% of truth, yes, and a little tiny bit of falsehood that might not have fit to be your truth or might not have felt to be so much in alignment. So we are saying that is where your spiritual discernment comes in. You must never give your power away. You must always feel what is the truth for you and what is supportive of your path and those around you and others around you. And so we would say anything that is sensationalized or is oversaturated that brings alarm or bells, whistles and bells, overly done, over dramatized. We would say, what is the purpose of this? Indeed, can we not have a typical normal conversation where like minds and hearts and thoughts are coming together? Why must one feel that they are being that it is being blasted into that energy field. What is this so much about? So there are many signals, there are many signs, but it is mostly, how do you feel? Is it pertaining to you? Does it make a sense? Uh, Particularly, does it make sense? Yes, and we understand we speak in deep levels at times of spiritual truths, but we try to lay it out efficiently where it can unfold beautifully step by step from thought to thought to make a sense. We do not try to confuse any. So hopefully we are doing very well at it, translating with our partner here. But you see, you want to make sure you understand and that it makes sense. And if it leaves you feeling confused, just to close the book and set it aside, just to pause the video, set it aside, or discontinue listening, whatever form you are having this information come through on. But it can be a part of any platform, any reality, any aspect of the collective or subsets of community. Indeed. And so, as you are advancing as a spiritual human being, you are being assisted by your intuition, the light around you, and your gut instincts. And we are saying, listen to it, listen to all of it, listen to the messages coming through so that you may feel empowered and not feel a victim. So, thank you very much for bringing that point through for all of us here today in our conversation.
You're welcome. Also, I guess the last thing on this topic for this session would be essentially what's been coming up a lot in online communities is this topic of false light. And, and there is truth to that. I think it's really important for people, like what you were saying, to really feel into the energy behind a person or a message or the person giving the message. Because I think what is happening quite frequently is that the words are all right, the information is correct, but the energy and what comes with it is not. And so this is happening, I think, quite frequently. But then there's also the end of the spectrum where, there's like people are afraid of everything being something that may be potentially harmful. So if you can speak to this topic, and then also around people that may have a lot of fear put in them due to researching or reading about what may be false and what may not.
Indeed. Well, did you come to Earth to live a life as a human, to assist others, and to what is your intention? We will say, if your intention is to create a new, beautiful reality, then that is where your focus should be. And we are not discounting any truths or realities that will speak about harsh experiences and opportunities, because that is active here and does help. However, we would say do not linger so much on it, because, as we mentioned earlier, you are instantaneously manifesting. So there will be things that need to be looked at for understanding and for healing. So you have to really feel within the purpose and what is the energetic expression sharing, what is the message, what is the intention. And as you mentioned, the words may be accurate in some conversations, but as we were sharing earlier, the energy can spin around one and tie them and bind them, and that is very uncomfortable. Also, there can be hooks going out that will then like an energetic vampire, these hooks will go out and pull on those who just haphazardly or very open with that energy are listening and absorbing information. And so if you find that it is a spinning in your mind and cycling through all your emotions, and it's just hard to release a vibration that does not feel supportive and love based, then you may ask your team in spirit and Archangel Michael, Raguel, Raphael, Metatron, Jeremiel, Zadkiel. Here we are, all the archangels. You may ask them to come in and surround you with the light and love. You may call on the Christ consciousness or any frequency, which is a high golden vibrational frequency, to clear your auric field. Listen to uplifting music, if it were, and messages, as it were, and ask for any hooks or daggers of energy that were sharply thrown your way to be cleared and dissolved from the energy body. So the information might sound accurate or entertaining or very educational, We always go back to the energy and how are you feeling about the energy, and always wanting to feel empowered. We try to do our very best, and we are vocally speaking that we do not want to have any energetic frequencies coming through our partner to hold on to anyone. And likewise, she is not like so much to have any of energetic frequencies of another holding on to her. It should be autonomy and sovereignty and respect and boundaries that we were mentioning before, but all with love. For you can send love, and we love to send love. You can send healing, love, and light for another to experience if they so choose and desire, but it should not be based in any form of control. So we are sharing that there should always be individual expression, freedom, and the collective consciousness where you could say, yes, we are coming together. We are uniting like a tapestry of lights. We are weaving through a common purpose and a goal, but it is very defined. Every thread of light is very defined, and it is not haphazardly entangled and entwined. It is very systematic through choice and desire. So there is a beautiful aspect here that we would like to share of sovereignty and respect, discernment of the energetic frequencies, and also you may be curious for certain things, and that is a beautiful part of the human consciousness and wisdom to be had and to be learned. But also as a part of your curiosity, do not forget to check into the curiosity of your heart, your gut, your energetic body, to say, how does it resonate? How does it feel? Because your mind may be very enthralled, but your energy body may say, oh, but no, this is not so much in alignment with the truth that my soul knows and the truth that I understand from a higher place of existence and reality outside of the human body. So you are becoming more and more aligned with yourselves. You are becoming more and more sensitive and tuned into your discernment. And we are saying, utilize it. Do use it like a compass. Yes, indeed. Shine a bright light upon things in the dark so you can get an awareness about it, and see it for what it is, and step forward or step to the side or what have you. But you want to have clarity, all the information to be clear so that you can make a conscious decision. So
For
yes.
sure. Yes. Thank you so much. Oh, were you gonna? There was more. No. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. I think that was really helpful for people that may be struggling with the around discernment with topics. So yeah. So I figured in this last like 5-10 minutes, if you would like to offer anyone that is consciously willing to participate in this, some form of a clearing of maybe these false programs or things like that, or hooks, or anything that may be kind of getting in people's energy field that they may not be aware of, whether it's working with their team or not. But I do want to stress that this is at the viewer's choice and discretion, and they have to make that decision on their own.
Are we telepathically speaking? For we were
All
just going to say the same thing. Yes. It will be up to your intention if you would like to participate and at what level, because there will be a clearing offered. But you may feel a little discomfort if there is anything that was lodged in the system to come out. So do be aware of that. There may be some thoughts of the mind to say, oh no, I want to pass it by. It's okay. And that's fine too. But understanding why did that come through? Do you really feel okay? Or do you feel that maybe something is hooked into it, you see? So we are going to guide an experience working with the Archangel realms, the higher frequencies, and we are inviting you then here, whom would like to flow forward with this experience, to call upon your higher self, because it's such a beautiful, supportive, and divine light that is very much individual and full of love and awareness of the wisdom for the purpose of what it was that you came into this life for, and these energies in your body, physical and energetic, supportive of it, you see. So do begin here. You are taking a beautiful breath in, please, breathing and centering in your body. Notice as you feel the left and the right side balancing and the energy flowing through. And with your heart and your mind, you reach up with your intentions for a power beyond this human experience. a higher dimensional expression of light from God and from Source Divine, calling perhaps upon your Archangel family, your star family, your higher self, and inviting in a very beautiful frequency of love and shimmering crystalline, glowing white if it were, very glowing light with gold within it here. Let the energy fall down around you. Archangel Michael here, assisting to release any frequencies around the heart and the throat chakras. With Jeremiah here, he's assisting to release any binding of energies around the back of the spine. You may feel these adjustments here for a moment. And do continue breathing for the expansion of the breath. The inhalation and expression outward moves frequencies. So do breathe deeply then. We have our Archangel Ariel assisting to find little aspects lodged within the body. And on your exhalation, do release Saint Germain's frequency, beautiful violet flame of light. You may feel around you, clearing through all dimensional fields of consciousness any imprints, miasms, projections, or frequencies which are not supportive of your path forward and that of the human experience here on your planet at this set point of time. You may notice your guides around you, a place of peace, familiarity, and a oneness. There is also a beautiful light coming in soon here. We are seeing it coming in from Yeshua, and you may also call on any Grand Master that you so desire. As you breathe in the vibration of love, breathe in as much as your body can absorb. Let your internal being fill with this light. And then feel the frequency of green. And you might envision or connect in with the vibration of the fields and the flowers. Earth herself, Gaia's love. You are a conscious, living, breathing being here, having access to many realities, many set points, and many dimensions for assistance. And we have shared before, and we will share again for spiritual discernment, that if you were to express and experience a conversation with a being in another frequency realm, perhaps we would perhaps we would suggest that if you were to listen and follow the guidance, that these beings might be from the 8th dimension or beyond, because many of you are already there. You have passed beyond the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, and floating at the 8th. So while you might have a constant communication, a friendly conversation, do not give your power away and let any spirit tell you particulars about your life path and journey. Your guides are much higher than that, even, and your higher self is very high up. You may expand with your intentional awareness past the 16th dimension, absolutely, to the 18th, 20th, 22nd, and whatever you feel a beautiful resting space. This is a beautiful place of light, of conscious choices that are in alignment, awareness, and wisdom. And feel how your body responds. Breathing in the light, letting go the doubts and the fears, because you understand you are brave, you have courage, for you would not be here otherwise. You are supported by many beings in the other planes of existence, reaching out with your heart in your hand for light-filled messages from the archangels and your spiritual team. Notice any space within your body where the light is collecting. Notice as it expands and fills your entire human vessel. Softly let your awareness float down through your hips and your legs, down to your ankles and your feet. Feeling the energy within the body, very much balanced here, evenly distributed. And then let your light shine a little bit. You could say, how do we do this? Well, we are saying, give it a try, just with your intention, perhaps your breath. Build that light up a little bit within and push it out a little bit. There you are, feeling the first level of your auric field illuminating, brightening, emitting a beautiful lightful frequency. Hold the vibration. And let the energy expand out a foot more from your physical body. And again, there you are. Expand out even further, letting the light surround you. Charging up your auric field, you see. It's very supportive for not only yourself, but those in your awareness consciously and in your physical presence. Breathing in and letting go. And for many, you may feel that you will be closing the session momentarily, or you may choose to lie down or continue sitting in a meditative state to let this frequency wash through your energy body to work with you. Yes, indeed. And we are encouraging you to relax your thoughts, your heart, and your mind, letting the energy flow and percolate up to your throat chakra, the chakra of communication, and to listen to spirit, listen to your team in what ways they might be speaking with you, what ways might they be speaking with you, and also in your your intelligence here of the clairsentient ability to just have a direct knowing and to feel the truth. and for any telepathic communication that they may be sharing with you. We are going to leave you here with this frequency of love, support, and light to assist in a cleansing and activation for stabilization. It has been a joy. It has been a great desire that we had to come through again. So it has been such a joy and a blessing. And as we prepare now to leave our partner's physical body, we are going to thank her very much, and Kat so much for being here and with this entertaining conversation to entertain us with the questions of the human mind and collective. It is very much a joy for us always to connect through. And we are going to share a very much beautiful love and gratitude and thank you for those who are here experiencing this moment of time with us. We are wishing for you a beautiful day flowing forward and many adjustments and advancements of spiritual truth and discernment. May you understand and flow forward upon your path, accessing the light codes and the very vibrational frequencies from your heart center for peace, for truth and love and abundance. And so we are going to prepare now to leave the body of our partner. We will see you all again very, very soon.
Thank you very much.
My goodness. I can feel that I got a deep cleansing too. Like I am just like I feel my throat chakra is all expanded, my heart, the energy in the room. Hold on, I gotta get back in the body. My eyes aren't working quite all the way yet. Now I can see you. Oh my goodness.
That was beautiful. That was really beautiful. So I know they're out of the body, but their presence. I just want to say thank you so much on my own behalf and on the behalf of the many viewers over time that we will have, because I do feel that throughout time these will, have waves of people tuning in. So hopefully that really helped everyone. And yeah, that was a beautiful conversation. And we do share very similar topics in the Light Collective. In our monthly membership, it's usually 4 times a month that we meet, and it's so like it's out or something. It's so funny.
I feel like I'm in another space completely.
Yeah.
Well, they haven't fully left, like they're out of my body, but I feel the energy humming like so close all around. So I'm just here really feeling good.
But yeah, so for those of you that are interested in more of this kind of communication within the Light Collective, we do have once a week a Council of Light session where you can actually ask questions live. And so we have an hour, so we try to get to as many as we can. And we do get really in depth on these topics because we can only say so much on YouTube. And then we also have the Akashic Records reading once a month, for that group. And then we have 2 different transmissions. So this is like a little tiny preview of what we do, but it's I think it's really beautiful and necessary to share with the broader audience the messages that came through today.
Yeah, and they were really enjoying it. It's so fun for them to come in. I think they said something at the end, like, I don't remember I barely remember, but I felt like they were entertained and delighted, and they love talking with us and connecting in such a way with the human consciousness. So it's so exciting to share, and we're really happy to do that and to be here with you guys. So if you're interested in the Light Collective or any of our offerings or services, or the links will be down below, and we also have playlists here, so feel free to tune in, check in. I feel like Kat always has awesome questions, and I learn a lot watching afterwards. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, I forgot about that.
Oh, thank you. And thanks for reminding me. Yeah, if you guys are new to this, we do have several episodes in the past. Episode 1 through 6, I think, are going through the different dimensions. And we do talk about a lot of topics outside of just the dimensions that are actually very relevant to what's happening right now. So I feel like they're a little bit timeless. And then episodes 7 through, I think it's 10. I think so, are the star transmissions from the different races. So for those of you that are interested in feeling what all the different star seed races feel like, and an interview with each one of them. We have that available too. I personally, I haven't had the time yet, but I do want to go back and actually rewatch our whole series because I feel like it was so much information, especially on the dimensions, so fast. So yeah, that's something I want to do too, for sure.
Yeah, I hear you. I was just talking yesterday. I'm like, I need to go back and make notes because there's so much content. And yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So hope you all enjoy. It's very, very in depth.
for sure. Well, I guess we will leave you guys to it. It was really nice connecting with everybody today, and hopefully we'll be back soon. So thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to our interview series, Conversations with the Council of Light. We are very much looking forward to bringing you many more to come. You can find Amy online at amysikarskie.com, spiritschoolmagic.com, and on Instagram at amysikarskie. And you can find the Council of Light on Instagram at starseeded_ascensions. You can find me online at catfowler.com and on Instagram at catfowler, as well as check out the Council of Light's original interview on the Soul Awakening podcast, which sparked the idea for this whole series. So we wish you a beautiful day filled with love, light, and peace, and we look forward to seeing you on the next show.